Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is convened in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey. Let the official minutes reflect that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing a notice in the Asbury Park Press on Friday, January 8th, 2021, the Press of Atlantic City, and the Star Ledger, and also forwarded to the Toms River Times, Toms River Patch, and WOBM News on Wednesday, January 6, 2021, and thereafter posting same on the Town Hall Bulletin Board for such notices and filing same with the Township Clerk pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Township Council on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. The meeting dates have also been posted on the Township webpage. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Here.
Councilman Kopp.
Here.
Councilman Latano.
Here.
Councilman Roderick.
Here.
Councilman Turnbach.
Here.
Council Vice President Maruka.
Present.
Council President Gagan.
Here.
Tonight, we have the adoption of two sets of minutes. I will call roll for the March 23rd regular meeting minutes first.
Move the minutes. Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Council Vice President Maruka to adopt the March 23, 2021 meeting minutes. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
And now I will call roll for the March 30th special meeting.
Move the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Council Vice President Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Council Vice President Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Abstain.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Tonight, for our honoring resolutions and presentations, we have with us Emily Maselli, the recipient of the Gold Award, and we also will be recognizing National Library Week.
Okay,
Move the honoring resolutions and presentations.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes. Council, if you will.
And your mom could come up too. Are you taking pictures? You could come up. So this is Emily. She just earned her Gold Award. And to earn a Gold Award with the Girl Scouts is the highest honor that you can earn in the Girl Scouts. And you have to do at least 80 volunteer hours. And these aren't hours that other people can work with you. They can work with you, but their hours don't count. You have to individually do the 80 hours of volunteer service. And it has to be a project that is beneficial to the community and also sustainable, so that after the girl moves on with her life, that we still have the benefit of the work that she's done and it can go on. So I'd like Emily to tell us a little about her Gold Award.
Hi, I'm Emily. Thank you so much for having me here today. I just wanted to start off and say, so my project, my Gold Award project, is called The Power of Music, and basically I wanted to bring therapeutic music to my community, and I did this for 3 different ways for my Gold Award project. The first way that I did this was I brought a program called Music Pharmacy, which is part of Musicians on Call, and I brought this program to my local hospital, and it provides headphones and tablets to the patients there at the hospital so they can listen to music while undergoing treatment. So it really helped them and benefited them so that they wouldn't have to be bored, that they have something to do, and it really made them feel good listening to the music while undergoing the treatment. The second thing that I did was I volunteered at my local nursing home, and I volunteered there once a month, and I basically brought music to them, and they were Alzheimer's and dementia patients, so they had a hard time, remembering things. So I basically volunteered there every month, and I, performed music for them, sang songs with them, played games with them. And over the course of, a couple of years that I volunteered with them, you could really see that it really truly benefited them. And even during the pandemic, when I couldn't actually go there and volunteer, I FaceTimed with them so that I could still bring music to them during this hard time. And the third way that I did this was I created a program for other local Girl Scouts so they can learn about my project and about music therapy. And after they were finished with my program, I created a patch that they can earn once they finish my program and learning all about it. So that's basically what I did for my Gold Award. And over this experience, volunteering at the nursing home truly impacted me the most because it really was amazing. I made such bonds with the residents there, and it truly was amazing to see that I, as one person, could make a difference in my community, and it really felt special to me. So thank you very much.
Right on in here. On behalf of the council and the mayor, we'd like to present a proclamation on behalf of Library Week and all the good work you do over there. I'd like you can read all the whereases. Libraries of all types are at the heart of their cities, towns, schools, and campuses, serving their communities. And whereas today's libraries and their services extend far beyond the four walls of a building and everyone is welcome to use their resources, libraries offer opportunities for everyone to explore new worlds through access to technology, multimedia content, and educational programs, and libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions of the community. Thank you very much for all you do and the service, and much appreciated on behalf of the council and the mayor.
Thank you very much.
Next, we will have the 2021 municipal budget public hearing.
Okay. Is it Lou? Or Alex?
You can just, why don't you call Alex up?
Yeah. Mr. Davidson, if you want to step up, please. I know there's a slight change from some grant monies we received, so we have to have this heard again. Thank you.
That's the next one, this is.
All right. Okay. Very good. Does any resident have any questions that we can answer on the budget that was presented on the website? Yes, Mr. Anderson. Come on up.
Boulevard, Anderson, 12 Park Street. I know the budget is a little later now, but with the $10 million, I think we got $10 million from the federal government for COVID.
I don't believe it's here yet.
Okay.
I'm saying that's happening,
How
but
would we
nothing's
know how
confirmed.
that's going to be in the budget? Would there be something later? Would we
Okay.
get that money?
I can answer that.
Sure.
That money will be applied to next year's budget, this year's budget and potentially next year's budget, just the 10 million that we're looking at. Go ahead, take it from here.
Again, that's what's reported in the newspapers. We haven't seen, the check is in the mail.
The $10 million I believe you're referring to is from the American Recovery Plan. So the brief guidance we've received thus far is that we will get half of that funding this year, half next year. The U.S. Department of Treasury has 60 days to promulgate guidance on what we can officially use that funding for. That has not happened yet. The State Department of Local Government Services stated that we cannot use that for this current year budget. They will not certify our budget to be adopted, therefore. And there's also going to be guidance that says what we can use those funds for. So right now, anything anyone has heard, it's just conjecture. There's nothing official on what we can use it for. But I'm anticipating being able to use it for similar to kind of a grant where we can apply certain expenses to it, where it can't utilize it as you know, general revenues for the support of general operations, but, you know, activities that we took part in to mitigate COVID, we can shift those expenses to that grant.
I have a question. Who decides how much of that would go to the school district? Of the
This-
10, of the 10 million?
The $10 million is specifically for the municipality. Any money that goes to the school district, I believe, is a separate fund set up specifically for them.
So there would be more.
I don't know. All I know is what's been reported in the newspapers, that we are scheduled to get $10 million, but I have not had any communication with the state or federal government stating how much we'll get or what we can use that funding for.
Now, we have a flat budget this year, correct?
We have a flat tax rate, correct?
And next year, do you anticipate it worsening?
I do not know at this time.
Are we allowed to help out the schools at all with that money?
With the federal
Would-
funding, I
Yeah, would it be
don't know if we
would
can
it be
use-
legal?
I don't know. The regulations have not been promulgated by the U.S. Department of Treasury.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Does any other member of the public have any questions? Any other members of the council have any questions? Okay.
Seeing none, move to close the public hearing.
Second?
Motion made was by Council Vice President Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick to close the public hearing for the budget. Council Vice President Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Moving on to item 8 is a resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, to amend the 2021 introduced budget in accordance with provisions of NJSA 40A:4-9.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, second by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Lotano?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka?
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Item 9 is an introduction of the 2021 Toms River Special Improvement District budget.
Marion. Marion, if you can come on up. Thank you. I can't see her there.
Council President, Council.
Good evening.
This year, we want to introduce our budget. It's the same as last year with no assessment increase. We're following the township's lead and proposing no increase for the assessment. The assessments are only for the businesses that are in the Business Improvement District, and the district's boundaries are from the Garden State Parkway to Hooper Ave, Hadley Ave, and south side of Route 37 to the river. We are funded, our funding is partly with 60% from the assessment, 20% for sponsorship, event fees 10%, incubator rent 7%, and grants 3%. We have boards, land use, economic restructuring, design, promotions, culture, and residential. We're set up as a nonprofit organization that was created by the township ordinance in order to enhance government service within buildings within the district. So if anyone has any questions on the proposed budget, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions now, or if anyone wants to email me or call me in reference.
Does any member of the public wish any comments or questions on the Special Improvement District?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just the introduction, so thank you very much.
Move the 2021 Special Improvement District budget introduction.
Second?
Motion made by Council Vice President Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Council Vice President Maruka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kopp,
Yes.
Councilman Lotano,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Abstain?
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Moving on to item 10, a resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, to amend the 2021 temporary budget pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-19.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kopp,
Yes.
Councilman Lotano,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Abstain?
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka.
This is just a standard operating procedure we do on a yearly basis because at the beginning of the year at reorg, when we introduce a temporary budget, it only goes to so far, and we usually amend it until we have the final budget adopted. So I vote yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Item 11 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing various sections of Chapter 348, Land Use and Development Regulations, to repeal and replace Section 348-8.28.1, Stormwater Management Control, in its entirety. First reading.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kopp,
Yes.
Councilman Lotano,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Do we have Township Planner Dave Roberts here to explain to us what the intention here is?
Yes.
Or Township Engineer would be great as well.
That would be Mr. Jinkalian, please.
Good evening, everybody. Councilman, this is actually a model ordinance that the state has issued. All municipalities are going to have to adopt this. It's very similar to the one we have. Toms River is generally in the forefront of environmental issues, such as because we're in CAFRA, they're basically making the what was CAFRA requirements basically applicable to a lot of other zones in the town. But our ordinance, from what it was to compare to this ordinance, is not much different. The biggest thing I noticed, quite frankly, is if you had parking where people were parking on grass, they now consider that a parking lot. There's not much difference, to be honest with you.
The oil drip and things.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Shinkali.
Thank you.
I vote yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka,
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Next comes the consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately.
Does any member of the council have any item they wish to discuss separately?
Council President, can I have item M as in Mary? And I'd like to bring Mr. Chinkalian up once you call that to give us an explanation and a timeline on this project, please.
Okay. Does any member of the council have anything they'd like discussed?
Yes, I'd like some questions answered regarding I and K, and an explanation for R as well.
I is in item, K is in King, R is in Roger.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other member of the council have anything they'd like to be informed on? Questions? Does any member of the public have any item they would like discussed separately? Okay, very good. Any other member of the public like anything discussed separately?
Seeing none, move the balance of the consent agenda.
Second?
Motion was made by Council Vice President Maruka, as seconded by Councilwoman Yurick to move the balance of the consent agenda with the exceptions of items M, I, K, and R. Council Vice President Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes. Okay, item M, Mr. Chinkalian, if you could step forward, please. And just explain this, please, in a tentative timeline, please, if you are aware of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
As you know, we've, after the storm from, I believe, in February, the township's taken several steps to restore the beaches. We have damage to our walkovers, our fencing, some parts of the dune grass. This portion of the project is the portion that's beyond our control. It's a large import of sand from a quarry to match existing sand and the trucking and equipment, which the Public Works Department just doesn't possess to do something this large. This is basically in the middle section of Ortley, from basically the blockhouse to the Lord House. That's where we have the big drop-off. So they're going to reestablish that slope, reconstruct the sand walkovers, and then reestablish the fence, the post and rail fence for the walkovers that we use, the sand fence along the seaward side of the dune, and that's what this project is part of. In anticipation of the council hopefully awarding tonight, I have spoken to the contractor who was the low bidder. It's Earl Construction, who, as most of you know, has done this unfortunately for us several times before. They have it scheduled to start May 5th. Unless there's weather, they expect about 8 days worth of work. That leaves us about 2 weeks before Memorial Day for the fencing to go on. So we believe we should have everything up and running by Memorial Day, or definitely in a usable condition.
Okay. Mr. Chinkalian, does this project have some replacement for fencing or rail and post for the North Beaches as well?
It does. We put it in the bid. However, we also have a fence contractor.
Correct.
And what I did was I wanted to get pricing from this contractor. Our fence contractor is actually cheaper, so we're going to allocate that work to that contractor. He has this lower unit price for post and rail and sand fence.
So basically, Earl is just doing the sand replenishment project and the grading, and then we'll come in and do the fencing with another contractor.
Correct.
And also the post and
He
rail.
was significantly cheaper, the other contractor.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Anderson, did he answer your questions? Or- Sure, go ahead, step forward, please, and speak into the mic if you would. Thank you.
Art Anderson, 12 Park Street, Township, New Jersey. I know we originally said we were looking for reimbursements from the federal government. Did we get that on this?
That-
We've made application. FEMA has issued what they call a project worksheet, all indications that will be reimbursed. The typical FEMA process is we do an estimate, we submit that, and then it kind of sits there until the work is done. Then after the work is done, we know what we actually paid, then we resubmit for reimbursement.
And then my other question is, this seems like it's happening a lot. Are we looking at a design so that this doesn't happen every time? Because at $438,000 every time a storm hits is a lot of money.
We actually haven't had a claim like this since the Army Corps had done this project. I think as the mayor indicated last time when he met with the Corps, the first time the Corps does the job, they look for the hot spots. This section of Ortley kind of juts out a little bit. That's why it was a little more exposed. Preliminary conversations with the Army Corps is next time they're going to build that beach area a little more into the ocean, just put a little more material there and kind of, in the future build that, like Bayhead's another area. They give them a little extra next time to buy a little more time. But up until this storm, I mean, it's been, what, two or 3 years?
It's been 3 years.
Yeah, we haven't had this dune's done very well by us. I mean, unfortunately, after Sandy, we were doing this almost yearly. So compared to the past.
Groins, right? Oh.
Where if you ever see an inlet, like the inlet takes a beating every time, but it's there all the time. Instead of 30 feet of
Do,
Lavalette had that, though. That actually caused, believe it or not, the currents between the groins and Lavalette and the pier and the
Erodes faster,
seaside
right?
used to cause actually more erosion. It helps you, but it hurts your neighbor. So that's not really a recommended practice these days.
they don't do groins anymore, right? No.
One more quick question.
Sure, yes, sir.
I know you said you're gonna get the same sand, but I think on the dunes, we need that compact sand, because we once before, another town did this with regular sand, and where they put the walkways, they sunk. They needed that compact sand. Are we getting that compact sand?
The DEP specification is similar grain size or larger, and then quite frankly, we look for color. But as sand doesn't have any cohesive properties, if you're thinking about silt, sand shouldn't compact. It's basically at its, for lack of a better word, proctor density in place. It's hard to compact sand. So.
Okay, thank you. Council, your pleasure on item M?
Move item M.
Second.
Oh.
Motion was made by Council Vice President Maruka, seconded by Councilman Lotano. Council Vice President Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Lotano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes. And then, Councilman Roderick, did you have questions on, are they all related, i.e.?
Yes.
I, K, and R's?
No, R I don't believe is related. I and K, I see that it's not required to go out to bid, but I'm curious as to why we didn't, why we went with Motorola without checking with other purveyors as well, or is this a situation where the software is only available? And I'm also curious as to whether I and K are related to the new system or maintenance of the old system.
Okay.
I don't know, if Chief Little is here, or if this is an engineering question.
No, the radio infrastructure, Mr. Jinkelian certainly would be able to answer, but this is about the software for Spillman, which Spillman was purchased by Motorola. So if that answers any of your questions as far as I as an item and K as in king.
I guess what I'm asking is
Can Mr. Davidson answer why it's an exception to the bidding process?
Is that what the question is?
well,
That
yeah,
seems to
why,
be the question.
and did we consider other companies as far as the software is concerned, or is this like proprietary? Do we have to have this? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Sure, Mr.
It seems awfully
Davidson.
expensive for software.
No, I agree, it certainly is, but there's a lot more involved.
So the annual service contract for Spillman, the reason why that's an exception is because whenever you go out for some type of proprietary software, the initial acquisition of the software, similar to Edmunds, our financial package, you go out through normally a competitive contracting process. That's where you solicit competitive quotes. They come, they demonstrate, you compare what their capabilities are to the criteria that you've graded it. After you go through that process in year one, if you're satisfied with that in years 2, 3, 4, and 5, and going forward, you pay what's called a maintenance fee or a maintenance exception, where it's proprietary software and you pay it annually. This software, while the price tag may seem high, we partner with 3 other local governments. So that charge is spread across 4 local governments: Manchester, Lavalette, the Fire District, and us.
Anybody else produce something similar, or?
I'm not an expert on dispatch software. My understanding is that is the best software to use for dispatch. I know everywhere that we've looked at when we were going through our radio fact-finding, anywhere that we thought was good used that software.
So neither I or K are related to the new system. It would just be
Well, the new system is the hardware. This is the software associated with the hardware.
with
And-
the new hardware.
Correct. The software we have is going to be compatible both with the hardware we currently have and the hardware we're acquiring in the new radio
Okay, so
project.
that's my question. So in other words, this cost is associated with implementing the new.
This cost would have happened whether or not we went with the new radios or not, with our dispatch. We were doing this annual charge was last year, the year prior to that, so.
But you do agree it's kind of steep as far as software.
I have no basis of knowledge to know, but I don't believe it's out of the range of software cost when looking at all the other costs in software.
Okay.
And K is It's for the contract to maintain the radios that we do have, the portable radios that the police officers have on them that, when they break or they need reprogramming, they have the technicians available to fix them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just as a side note, Councilman Roderick, this Spillman software that Motorola actually purchased, yes, Ocean County uses the same software, Monmouth County, several other counties. I know Morris, New Jersey State Police is actually just switching to it. I think they're going live July 1st. So hopefully, in a perfect world, all these same CAD vendors can talk to one another. It would make much too much sense if they could. But
Thank you.
okay. Any other questions on either I as an item or K as in King?
Seeing none, move item I and K.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Latano, second by Councilwoman Yurick, to move both items I and K. Councilman Latano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Abstain on I, yes on K.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka?
The Spielman software that our police department, our fire departments use, this is something that's critical. It's something they use every day to answer calls. It is vital to the running of those departments, and I vote yes.
Council President Gagan?
Along with the comments Councilwoman Maruka had said, it also does a lot more than that. All the police cars, ambulances, fire trucks in town are GPSed into a mapping system. It's all coordinated through that, different hazard files, whether it's a healthcare issue like COVID at a house or weapons or something like that. There's a lot more than just, like a Microsoft type program. It is very labor intensive, and I vote yes. Okay. Item R as in Roger. Councilman Roderick, you had a question?
Yes, I was wondering if somebody could,
Or did you just want a separate vote on that?
I'm sorry, I didn't actually hear that.
I didn't know if you had any questions on item R as in Roger, or did you just want a separate
brief
vote?
explanation for myself and for the public.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, maybe the microphone is not working so well. I said I just wanted a brief explanation for myself and for the public.
Okay. Mr. Merlino, can you answer item R as in Roger, supporting the Senate?
Yes, there's legislation being proposed at the state level to separate out the state part and the local part of the public employees retirement system, because while the state has been able to basically withhold its contributions over the years to the pension systems, municipalities have not. So the local part of the public employees retirement system is actually the most solvent, or one of the most solvent of the various state pension programs. And the legislation proposed is designed to separate that out in order to maintain its solvency, and not use the solvent part to shore up the unsolvent part. This is a resolution that has been recommended by the State League of Municipalities, that municipalities adopt to support the legislation and hopefully get it passed.
Thank you. Any other questions, Councilmember Roderick?
No, thank you, Mr. Merlino.
Okay. Council, your pleasure.
Move item R.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Lotano?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka?
Yes.
Council President Gagan?
Yes.
Next up, we have the reports.
Move the reports.
Second?
Motion is made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Lotano?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Maruka?
Yes.
Council President Gagan?
Yes.
Next, we have the bills.
Move the bill list.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach.
Abstain from PO 21-01500 and 21-01788, payable to the magistrates. Abstain from PO 21-653, 21-1656, payable to Office of City Halls, Apple and Zabarski, a local attorney in town. I have conflicts with those. Yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Abstain from PO 21-01047, payable to Rutgers University, and PO 20-00569, 21-01402, and 21-01403, payable to Remington and Vernick. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Kopp.
I abstain from the following: 21-01152, 21-01153, 21-01155, 21-01156, 21-01157, 21-01415, 21-0175, it's 21-01765. They're all payable to Owen & Little Associates. 21-01608 to payable to Silverton First Aid. 21-01256 payable to Ocean Harbors House. And 21-01104 payable to American Coring. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Latano.
Yes, I have to abstain from 21-01864, payable to Holman Frenna, Allison PC, 21-01486, Preferred Behavioral Health, and 21-01104 to American Coring. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Roderick.
I don't have any conflicts. I vote yes, and yes for the balance.
Council Vice President Maruka.
Abstain to PO 21-01598, payable to NJMVC, 21-01500, and 21-01788, payable to NJMVC lease program on township payroll lines 85 and 90, and 21-01302, payable to NJMVC Business and Government Services. Of a conflict, yes to the balance.
Council President Gagan.
Yes to all except the purchase order to Silverton First Aid Squad at 21-01608.
And next up, we have elected officials' comments.
Mayor Hill?
Thank you, Council President. About a week and a half ago, we received communication from Walmart that they had an opportunity to provide 500 doses of vaccine for our residents. The date, they gave us about a week and a half notice, and it was last Wednesday on the 7th. I'm happy to report that all 500 doses were delivered. There were none that were left in excess. Kudos to Ralph Stocco, who worked very hard lining up residents for those vaccines. We targeted our senior population. The vaccinations were given at the senior center. They compiled a list of a list for if we had cancellations. And during the day, both our senior center and staff and Ralph Stocco were on the phone. Any cancellations we got were filled immediately. The senior center provided transportation for the senior residents. And we got nice compliment from the Walmart staff. They said of all of these that they've done, it was the smoothest and most efficient operation. So I wanted to thank our Ralph Stocco, Joanne Benson, and the staff at the Senior Center for an outstanding job. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilman Kopp?
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to thank Walmart, along with Mayor Hill, for getting the dosage, the 500 doses, to the residents of Toms River. That was a great undertaking. I also want to speak a little bit about Emily coming out today. You know, it was nice to see Emily receiving the Gold Award. And, you know, at a time when the press and the news, there's more negative news than good news out there, it's great to see somebody so young being proactive and being such a large influence in our community. And it's definitely very, very heartwarming. And I'm sure her parents are very proud, like myself and the rest of this council is. And that's all I have tonight, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Roderick?
I would just like to remind the public and the council and Mayor Hill that our schools are facing a major shortfall this year. I believe it's $7 or $8 million. We have some members of the school board in the audience this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. We're running a flat budget this year. It seems we've been able to contain spending and hold down taxes. And if legally permissible, I believe that this council and the mayor should consider helping out the school with some of this federal money. Our schools are in desperate need and facing potentially 60 layoffs as far as teachers are concerned. Higher class sizes are not conducive to a better education or a more thorough education. So I'm respectfully asking that this council and Mayor Hill consider the legality and the morality of perhaps sharing some of that money with the school district. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Urick?
Thank you, Council President. We had talked about the dunes today, and I just want to remind everybody that it's not too late to sign up for Clean Ocean Action's beach sweep this Saturday. It starts, you can choose 9 or 10 a.m. to start, and it goes until noon. And you don't have to stay the whole time if you've got other stuff to do or you're tired. But just come get those beaches prepped so that when all that new sand gets there for the dunes, it'll be nice and ready. So that's all I have today.
Thank you. Councilman Turnback?
Thank you, Council President. I agree with Councilman Roddick. We're certainly always in favor of helping the school districts out. We're certainly going to have to check the legalities of the CARES Act money as to what it can be applied to, and that will come out. All the research I've done, and the school board members are here that I see, my understanding is the schools will be receiving separately $21 million in federal CARES Act money. So there's $10 million coming to the township, but my understanding is earmarked for Toms River is $21 million from the Federal CARES Act. So I'm sure they can speak to that, but that's my understanding of what the schools are anticipating having in. There's been a lot of great organizations that have stepped up during this pandemic. We've spoken about Fulfill, we've spoken about Just Believe and what they've done. And I want to spotlight another organization in our town that I feel we should support that deserves recognition, and that's the Hope Center, also known as the House of Hope of Ocean County. We run our food distribution at the Toms River Presbyterian Church, and I can't say enough great things about that church, about Pastor Robbie Yitterberg, about Westminster Nursery School. They allow us in there every Friday. Their school is in session. We're certainly a presence there. They've redirected their traffic to drop the nursery school students and the kindergarten students off. They couldn't be more accommodating to our township and the needs of our township. In the back of the Toms River Presbyterian Church, you always see this building that stands there, and it's called the House of Hope, or the Hope Center. And they're a food pantry. They're a place where those in need in our town can go if they're in need of shelter, food, clothing. I participated in a meeting with them on Monday night, and they put out their annual report for 2020. And in 2020, the Hope Center served 15,190 men, women, and children. They distributed 228,242 pounds of food to our residents. They provided individuals and families with 334 nights of emergency shelter and 150 nights of shelter through rental assistance. They provided 116 backpacks filled with school supplies to students in the community. They provided 224 warm winter coats to neighbors in need, distributed 100 Christmas meal baskets with turkeys and hams, provided over 1,000 gifts, toys to 114 adults and children and 29 families for Christmas. Oftentimes on the council, we're approached by residents in the town asking how they can get involved. They see the food distribution, they come out to the food distribution. They see Code Blue, they come out to Code Blue. I would ask volunteers, reach out to the Hope Center. They're doing a tremendous job for our community's most vulnerable. They deserve our recognition. Groups like this, like Fulfill, like Just Believe, I really feel we should start, as this township opens up, to bring in and recognize them with township resolutions, because they are doing the job day in and day out. And I want to thank Pastor Rob Ytterberg and all the members of the Hope Center. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Councilwoman Maruka.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to talk a little bit about the dune restoration program. This was something that has been in the forefront for this council to get that project moving, to get it out to bid and award the bid, but also get it within a timely fashion. By Mr. Chinkillian working with the contractor, start date of May 5th. I just want to reiterate that. Approximately taking 8 days. There might be a few more days in there because we don't know what weather is going to be like, but it should, under all indications, be ready for the beaches to be open for Memorial Day weekend. There will be additional works that will be done through the fencing. I know the fence on the eastern toe of the dune on the ocean side has to be replaced. There's going to have to be posts and rails put up, and that's going to be in Ortley, but also in the northern beach area as well. I believe all the mats were basically, some were, twisted and things of that nature, but we were able to use them because I know that was a large expenditure that this council was able to do last year to provide them for the Ortley area and also for the North Beach area. And if we can get some FEMA funding on that, since we are now a re-engineered beach, that would actually be wonderful for us. We'd have some type of a match, but as Mr. Chinkalian said, we're not going to know the total cost and the total match until that project is completed. We had a public hearing tonight on our budget with a 0% tax increase. I know we'll be introducing our budget at a later date. Probably the last council meeting at the end of the month or that first council meeting in May. On that, Councilwoman York talked a little bit about the Clean Ocean Action. I encourage people to come out. They are separating into different times. Usually it was everyone showed up, but with COVID and people to be social distance, and there's going to be some parts of the beach that they're not going to be able to because of the drops in those areas there are closed off. Also, thank you to Walmart and our senior center staff and the administration. That was something they had to turn around within a week. But the senior center was a logical place to do it because all the seniors, they converge there. It's the hub. We have their information. They have the transportation that people could not make it for the shots, and the staff worked diligently to serve the residents. Councilman Turnbuck talked a little about the Hope Center, and they're one of our unsung heroes here. But there's been a couple other organizations that have really come up to the forefront. One was Operation Barbecue. They just did their barbecue giveaway this past Saturday at the Hope Center, and that was in conjunction with the Hope Center. And another one that has really been to the forefront, I want to say the past month or so, has been Chef Lou's Army. He's been coming by on Fridays and giving 1,000 meals that can be distributed with the crisis boxes, the produce, and everything else that is donated either by Fulfill, local restaurants, Silveri Produce. So it really has been an unbelievably and heartwarming welcome, because these are hot meals that people can just take, and they might use them for the weeks and things like that. And I got to tell you, it has really made a difference in the addition to the crisis boxes there. Another thing I want to mention is a little bit about last year when COVID hit, restaurants could not have anybody sit inside. We went to an outdoor dining. I want to say we probably had about maybe 15 to 20 or 25 permits that came in. The council turned around a permit. We shortened the process, streamlined it so people could get their businesses back open in any way, shape, or form. Right now with Governor Murphy has us up to 50%, but that's not enough for restaurants to survive. So what I would recommend, Mayor, Administrator, and I guess in consultation with Mr. Chinkalian, is the people that had put in permits for the last time, for last year at this time, if we could just honor and extend those, because they have met all the requirements to do that. I would like to see if we can work with Mr. Chinkalian so people don't have to resubmit. If they're using the same footprint, if they're using the same area, they're at 50%. Their parking lots would be able to handle that capacity. I think outdoor dining, as we've seen downtown, has been a wonderful addition to our community, and if we can help the restaurants pick up that extra 50% or even 25% with outside dining, whatever capabilities they have, I think it'd be something that this council can help facilitate and help businesses weather this storm that we're still in with COVID until they go to at least 100%, or unless it has some effect on their parking.
We'll certainly do all we can to make sure that happens.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you very much. Councilman Latano.
Thank you, Council President. I want to speak first on the vaccine situation that the township and the mayor put together. These vaccines to give away, it sounds like it would be super easy because people need them. It's actually very difficult. People register to come to get a vaccine and they don't show up because they register for multiple locations or something comes up. And a lot of the vaccines tend to go to waste. To give away every single one we got, I think it shows an amazing organization here, and I commend everybody involved in doing it. Also, there are new businesses opening up amidst this pandemic. One notably would be a new restaurant, of all things, during this pandemic. Joe Bella's on Fisher Boulevard, where the White Rooster used to be. It's opening up on Friday, April 16th. We want to support all of our local businesses. Also, May 1st, Downtown Night Out, hosted right here by the BID. It's a fantastic time. Many of you here in the public, I've seen you out there. It's a lot of fun, and it's coming up May 1st. Also on May 1st, there will be a 5K benefit run hosted by Recalibrate and Just Believe. Recalibrate is a veterans-run organization. We have the largest group of veterans here in Ocean County, and this is a group of veterans that have put together peer-to-peer counseling, a physical aspect. It does physical, mental, spiritual. It's great for the veterans, and they've partnered up with Just Believe, who does Code Blue, and they're having a benefit 5K in Winding River Park, and I know Councilman Kopp and Councilman Turbach have already committed. I would love to see the mayor there. It'd be fantastic. Anybody else that would like to join, that'll be May 1st. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I also would like to extend my sincere thanks to Walmart for the vaccination of 500 doses. As Councilman Latano said, it sounds like it's easy. It's not. I would like to commend certainly Ralph Stocco for coordination of that, the entire senior staff, the PD that was on location coordinating the traffic flow, the EMTs standing by all day, with the ambulance in case there was any adverse reactions. I stopped over and spent some time there. It was a very, very well-oiled machine, like they had been doing it, for the past year. Congratulations to all the staff that participated in that and helped make it happen in about a week's time. Again, I'm proud to be part of the 0% tax increase, as we're learning and trying to, do our best. Certainly the schools needs help. We can all agree on that. Volunteers are needed for Ocean Action, as Councilman Hurek and Councilwoman Hurek and Councilwoman Maruka had stated. And that being said, that's all I have. I'd like to open up the floor for any public comments. Anybody from the public like to be heard? Yes. Yes.
Maren Bellick, I'm the Executive Director for the Business Improvement District. I just wanted to inform everyone that the bid has officially applied for the Main Street designation, so no cost to any of the taxpayers. We're officially waiting for the application to go under review and get notified to see if we've been accepted to the Main Street New Jersey program. For our retail business incubator at 53 Main Street, we're happy to inform everyone we have 2 new stores that are opening. The Anderson Guitars and Finley Candles. There will be a ribbon cutting ceremony scheduled for later this month, but we encourage everyone to come down to 53 Main Street and check out all the shops to help support the Toms River small business community. All the bid events are posted at downtowntomsriver.com. As the Councilman said, starting May 1st, we will hold Downtown Night Out every Friday and Saturday night from 5 to 10. We'll also have the Downtown Farmers Market that will be held every Wednesday, starting May 19th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. behind the new Life Church on Main Street. As far as upcoming events from other businesses, the Mathis House has event almost every single night. I definitely encourage everyone to follow her Facebook page to check out the events and make reservations before going. For Battle River Brewing, every Monday night is trivia night. Also, if someone's looking for outdoor space for next gathering, please contact the Battle River Brewing to reserve their new outdoor courtyard. The Garden State Distillery Company, every Wednesday is also trivia night. And every Thursday is karaoke night. On Saturday, on the 24th, at 1 p.m., they will have Pound and Pour with Pepper at the Garden State Distillery. Tickets are still available at poundwithpepper.com. The Water Street Bar and Grill has live music every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. And also our Toms River Artist Community is continuing to work on the track appreciation mural. And I encourage everyone to visit the track Facebook page and participate to paint the mural. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does any other member of the public wish to be heard? Yes, sir.
Art Anderson, 12 Park Street.
I
I
have
just
that
question
memorized.
on the bills. I noticed that there's a lot of 2020 condo and apartment rebates. Can somebody explain that to me?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
On the bills, there's multiple condo and apartment rebates.
Right,
Can somebody explain that to me?
Sure.
That's for-
Mr. Amoroso, you can explain the
Under
lighting and
municipal
garbage
services, I'm sorry, under the Municipal Services Act, there are certain essential services that the township must either provide or reimburse to qualified private communities, such as trash and recycling, collection, snow plowing and leaf removal, and street lighting. So these are reimbursements for those pursuant to the Municipal Services Act or the Kelly Act.
So we reimburse for that, for their dumps and their lighting? Is that what I'm understanding?
We can either provide the service or reimburse for the service, and it's up to the township to make that determination, and generally, we choose the less expensive option. Okay?
Thank you. And my other question was for, actually, Lori and Maria. I know you said the beach sweep. Is that something we just show up, or is that something you have to sign up first?
You can go to their website, so if you just Google, sorry, Ramona. If you just Google Clean Ocean Action Beach Sweeps, and you can sign up on their website, and you pick a location, so there's 3 locations in Toms River, and then they actually do beach sweeps all across the coast of New Jersey.
So this is not just
So-
Orly, we can sign
No.
up in multiple places?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah, I always sign up for Orly, of course, because, it's Toms River.
That's it, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other member of the public wish to be heard? Okay, counsel, your pleasure.
Seeing none?
Wait, no, this.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I did not see you, ma'am. Good evening, just step up and state your name and address,
Geraldine
please.
Lucas, and I live at 20 Alair Drive, Holiday City, Silverton, Phase 1. The reason I'm here is because I feel that Phase 1, I've been at that community since, for 18 years. I don't think they know what they're doing there. I think the people were old when I came there, now they're ancient. They don't know how to run that Phase 1. Okay, I live in a duplex. I'm very happy there, except my neighbors. The second family now are voodoo people. They chant and play drums all night. They rob me. You tell me this is a squirrel made by a squirrel? They put a hole in my attic there. They robbed all my winter clothes. I mean, they've done several things, and they come in all the time. I spent $300. I found $500 for locks on my door. They're professional thieves, and I've had enough, and I want to come over and I want you to check it out, because that Phase 1, that they don't know what they're doing. They're all old housewives. They're not professional people to run that place. I mean, I'm a single woman. I've never had a man tell me, well, honey, get the door, see who's there. No, I never had that. I was born 10 years ahead of my time. So that's what I've been told. And the thing is, I see that, what's going on there. I feel sorry for the other women who've lost their husbands. A lot of them are being robbed and molested, harassed. I don't think that's necessary. At a certain point in your life, you should be able to relax. And I try to do positive things. They're always doing negative things. They come in and steal my food. They do this and do that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This has to be stopped. Not just for me, but for the other single women that live there.
Okay. Have you called the police before?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and this is not done by a squirrel. So this woman next door, her name is Marion Rip. And she uses another name. I looked on the iPhone. She's a criminal, listed as a criminal. So how can you let criminals move into that area? We're all past a certain age, and we should be protected by the community and the citizens in the clubhouse.
Okay. Well, all I can say, ma'am, is if you feel threatened or
It-
harassed, if
it's
someone
really-
breaks in, you can
I mean,
certainly
I'm
call
old,
the
but
police
I'm not
department
aged
again,
yet.
and they'll respond and
But I
speak to
want
you.
something to be done, not just for me, for the other single women that are living there.
I
Their
understand.
husbands have passed away. And these people come in and this woman lives with a fellow, I don't know who he is, but in the back room there, never leaves the house. And I believe he's a criminal too. I'm not sure, but I know she has a criminal record. So this shouldn't be.
Okay.
It should not be. When you're retired, you should be able to relax. I'm always doing positive things, and they're continually doing negative things to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Does any other member of the public wish to be heard? Okay. Counsel, your pleasure.
Seeing none, move to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion for executive?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances to discuss matters requiring confidentiality and/or of a privileged nature, and whereas the Township Council is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Toms River in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey as follows. The Township Council will now conduct a private executive session. General nature of the subject matter to be discussed and/or acted upon is as follows. Matters of personnel, attorney-client privilege, and contract negotiations. Following specific items to be discussed and/or acted upon are as follows. The executive session minutes review of March 23, 2021. The personnel issues of both the clerk's office and administration. The renewal of the New Jersey Natural Gas franchise and the report on new recreational cannabis legislation. It is anticipated that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Council that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. Motion to go into executive session made by Council Vice President Maruka, seconded by Councilman Turnbach, with all in favor at 7:03.
I tried to turn it around one day. I have a Jeep that I almost did the sign. Now, the sign. Now, they said they were talking about, they had no chance of buying the property. You were talking about, why? I don't know why. That's what they said. Because you have to give some reasons why they, because it was a variance. They had to show means that they were trying to come up with code. They said, since they said it was frontage and everything. So I just want to say, because I know you. And it was for sale for a long time. Well, that's my fault, because I didn't DOT. If you ever go there, it goes to 3 lanes to 2, right? Next time I go to there, I'll just try to pull up. Try to pull it before you hit the sign. Okay. And then he says, I don't know if that helped him. He just says, I know they approved it, like, well, the township, not DOT has approved it, but I just can't see how that's not going to cause accident after accident after accident. I was away, I didn't go to the meeting. I know it went 7 to 2, right? Who voted against it? Huh? Who voted against it? The guy that sits here, and the old guy. It actually, I'm very confused because it voted and voted, and we're gonna not let go of some outside contractor, not contractor,
Do I have a motion to go back into public session? So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt the minutes of March 23rd, 2021?
Second?
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Council Vice President Maruka. Councilwoman Yurick? Council Vice President Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp? Yes. Councilman Lotano?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Abstain?
Councilman Turnbach? Yes. Council President Gagan?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
7:22. Thank you. Good night.